There's a moment I haven't wanted to admit out loud. It starts with a guy, a brilliant one, oncologist, Ivy League, traveler, the kind of man whose title alone makes people lean in. And we were on a video chat and he asked me what I did. After he explained that he wakes up at 4:30 in the morning before he goes to his clinic. I said it plainly, ashamedly. I'm like a life coach. What happened next wasn't him rolling his eyes. It wasn't his judgment from his mouth. It was something way worse. The quiet, familiar voice inside my own head that whispered, "You're not enough. You're an imposter." That moment sent me into a spiral I wasn't expecting, and it forced me to face a question I thought I had already answered. Is what I do enough? Is it real? Today's episode is a raw one. It's for anyone who's ever doubted their purpose, minimized their magic, or compared their work to someone else's and come up short. I'm sharing the story of that conversation, the spiral it sent me into, and the surprising clarity that came out of it. Let's get into it. This is episode 79. Ever felt small next to someone's big title? How a lab coat gave me imposter syndrome.
Welcome to Healing with Haley. I'm your coach, Haley Kirk. On this podcast, we dive into ways to heal, embrace, and truly love our lives. Here's my belief. So much of our suffering comes from what we believe. I'm here to help you understand your mind and question those thoughts to start your healing journey. Ready to get started? Let's go.
Welcome, you guys, to the podcast. Woo! I am nervous and excited about this one. I have been wanting to share this story because I know I'm not the only one who has felt this. And when I have shared this story with my close connections and my networks, it's so relatable. And they're just shaking their head like, yes, I felt that way before. So let's dive into the story. As you all know, I'm on this dating journey to find my person, and I am incredibly busy. I want to make that not as true as I feel it is. I want to simplify my life much more, but I have a hard time finding time to meet people in person. So online dating for me is my main source, okay? It's the main source. So I matched with a guy. He seemed really cool, and I loved how adventurous his pictures looked. And he was handsome. He was handsome. Not like overly gorgeous, but just like had a handsome face, you know? I was like, "Ooh, I'm attracted." And so I matched with him, and then we were talking and we planned to do a FaceTime. And so I called him on my way to go grocery shopping because I'm just like, I gotta fit these calls in while I'm doing my life, busy life. And so I'm grabbing my supplies. My go-to meal, you guys, is this turkey salsa recipe. I'll link it if you guys are even interested in it, but it's a yummy one. And so I had this like turkey in one hand, my salsas in the other hand, and I started putting tostadas too on there and crema mexicana, and I have all this stuff, and I'm also like FaceTiming this guy, and we'll call him the cocky oncologist. Okay, that's his new name, the cocky oncologist. And so he said, that he wakes up really early, wakes up at 4:30 to go to the gym before he goes to his clinic. And I was like, "Oh, your clinic? Okay." And he was like, "Yeah, I'm an oncologist. I help patients with cancer." And I was like, "Okay, that's amazing. That's really cool." And then he said, "What do you do?" You guys, immediately it was this distortion, almost this like split of real me and ego, insecure, fearful, imposter syndrome me. I really felt like Voldemort in this moment where my self or my soul like split in two, because my physical body was the one responding. And then, like, the awareness me, the kind of primal me, was going into a spiral, a whirlwind, like, just like, and then I whispered, barely able to utter the words, I'm like a life coach. And I can't believe I said it like that. I'm like a life coach. No, I am a life coach. and and then he kind of chuckled and he's like, "What? Like you help people to live their lives?" And I said, what I do is I help people question their belief systems and their thoughts and the world around them, and to make sure that whatever they're choosing to believe serves them and no longer makes them suffer. And it was crazy because the moment I started saying those things, it was like the reps at the gym. It is the things I have decided to believe about myself, and repeating that and like instilling that belief system in me. And that part of me, the part of me that's like struggling and grinding and really manifesting, but also putting in so much energy and effort into that identity that I'm trying to be, that person spoke. But like the kind of the present conscious, insecure, vulnerable, fearful me, imposter syndrome me, was like, oh my God, I'm not good enough. Oh my God, I'm immediately like losing value in his eyes. Like, oh wow, he like, that's not as good as an oncologist. I started to shrink and make myself small. And I didn't like how I showed up. I didn't like how I showed up in that moment. But I also did at the same time. And it also was a moment for me to like, wow, I still have work to do on this. Like this is interesting. So here's what I learned from that experience. And I hope this will help you as well. When we have, right, these moments of comparing and contrasting, oh, they are at this level of career success or money or whatever life experience, right? Like kids, marriage, house, car, whatever it is, that is ego, right? Ego is just resurfacing and coming up and being like, oh, look, we're not good enough. We're not safe enough. This, this is the part of you that's just unlovable. And you guys, that is so wrong, right? That is just not true. Your worth never has to be proved. It never has to be tested, right? It never has to be questioned as much as we question it, right? And it was such a moment for me of insecurity. And I want my coaching business to thrive and to explode, right? And I'm still at that baby toddler phases of my business. I've only been doing this in December, it's going to be 3 years, right? So I have to give myself a lot of grace, right? My business is a toddler. It's growing and I'm still learning so much. And that's going to come with growing pains. And I want to fall in love with the process of becoming the version of me that I'm working so hard to become. And at the same time, it was just so interesting how much I let an oncologist, a reputable, life-saving, respectable profession, right? I am also doing amazing work. And I shrunk and made myself small because I wasn't the life-saving oncologist, right? I want to express how much that conversation impacted me. I felt like a stupid little girl. I felt like I was in La La Land. I wasn't living in the real world. Like no one actually wants my help. They're too good for it, or it's not money worth. It's not worth money paying for it. And like it was like a sweet little sentiment like, "Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good. That's good." Pat pat on the head. But nothing to be taken seriously. And that pain didn't start with cocky oncologist. He activated it. He grazed the wound. And it was a moment for me to look inward, right? There's nothing little about what I do. I walk people through the darkest valleys of their mind, and I hold their hand until they see the light again. I help people grieve, release, reframe, and choose themselves. I remind them that they're not broken, only burdened by thoughts that aren't true. It feels so good to say that. and there's this little script I want to read to that little girl that's in me. You're not silly. You're not a dreamer lost in La La Land. You're a visionary. You're a bridge between the mind and the heart. And just because someone didn't see it doesn't mean it's not real. You know what you're here to do. You've seen the magic. You've been the magic. And no face, no title, no scoff can take that away from you. So this is an opportunity that I want to offer to you guys. When someone gives you a sentence, right? And I want to neutralize this as much as possible. When someone says words to you and you feel pain or hurt or any uncomfortable emotion, they're your guru. They have given you a gift into self-inquiry. This self-inquiry is a word coined by Byron Katie, one of my favorite spiritual teachers. When someone says something to you that makes you feel defensive or charged or hurt in any way, that is your opportunity to your own enlightenment, to your own healing. And I just want to give you guys that opportunity to even go back into your past and be like, man, that thing that person said to me, gutted me. Why? Let's dive into that. Let's put up a mirror and see what's happening in me because of what someone said, right? And it's so interesting when people tell us things that we believe that are nice about ourselves, right? It's nice and it's not shocking, right? Because it's like things we kind of agree with. But if it's something negative or insecurity, right? It's gonna sting because we believe it. If someone were to say to me something crazy, right? Like, Haley, you're a murderous person. I'd be like, no. I know something outrageous, right? I'm just giving an outrageous example. It wouldn't hurt me as much as if someone said, Haley, you're an imposter. You're not gonna make it in your life coach business. It's just a pipe dream. You're just a silly little girl who thinks she can make a difference. Even saying it, I'm like, yes, ouch. So anything, I encourage you to think about maybe something mean someone had said to you or something uncomfortable or quote unquote rude, right? And the reason I do it is because the more we can analyze our judgments of other people, the crazier it is that we just are so aware of this world around us and the things we're choosing to believe. And when we start to question them, that's when we set ourselves free. And it's so empowering, you guys. So, my takeaway from this is also in that same weekend, I had an amazing day where I met these women, and it was a real roots experience where they match you with people that have your similar interests and values and lifestyle, like moms, being single. And it was so fun because I was able to share that story with them. And I shared with them that I'm no longer playing small. I'm not doing that anymore. And I I'm okay with the idea that I'm not where I want to be, but I'm going to love, or at least try to love, the journey of getting to my goal, my multi-million dollar coaching business, right? I want that. And I think the version of me that I need to be is going to be amazing, right? And watching me mold into that person that has that accomplishment or is able to accomplish that. And I get excited thinking about that transformation and all the things I'm going to learn and all the people I'm going to meet and all the service, the transformation I'm going to be able to do for so many people is going to be pretty freaking amazing. So I loved, that opportunity, that contrast of experiences happened to me. I had that stark contrast with that guy on that video chat, and then compare it to this amazing opportunity where I was surrounding myself with women, and it was so healing, and they learned something from my story. And later on, I went to this Korean spa with my good friends, and it was so fun because we were like all naked, and we were in these gender rooms, right? The men had their naked spas and the women had theirs, and we were all naked. It was just like, wow, like this is so wild to me that we're just all comfortable with our naked bodies, which is quite vulnerable, right? And we went to a sauna room, we went to all these amethyst charcoal rooms, and it was so beautiful and very healing and relaxing. And I was in the charcoal room. I was contemplating just all the decisions I was trying to make regarding my life coach business. And I knew that I wanted to fully commit into my business even more than I already have, all the time and the money and the resources I've put into that direction. And I was like, I'm going to put even more, commit more. And my coach, she offered a 12 weeks to 12 clients live event to be coached with her and to build your business money back guarantee. Like, she's so sure that she can help you get that far in your business. And I was blown away, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna do it. And so I had that realization in that environment. And I love how intentional I'm living my life, where I'm putting myself into realms of women who are like-minded and who are encouraging and loving and embracing my vulnerabilities and my passions at the same time. And it just put me in that right mindset to be like, you know what? Let's freaking do this. Let's go. Let's like find like the why we know, right? I'm just ready. I'm ready to be that version of me and to change lives and to help people experience the freedom that I feel now. And the how, and I had the what now. The what, okay, what is, I'm going to this seminar with my coach, and the how, it will come. I was like, it'll come. I'll figure out how to pay for it, how to take care of my son, and I'll figure it out. But I'm committing and I'm doing it. And so that night, I was at the checkout, right? And it was a couple $1,000s, and I was like, God, maybe I could pull from savings. Maybe I could reach out to my dad. And I was like, okay, let's maybe I can email them and see if they have a payment plan. I was like, no, we're gonna commit. We're gonna do this. So I go to the checkout and it didn't offer a payment plan, or there was no conversation about a payment plan. I go to the checkout, I'm ready to pay, and there's a freaking payment plan. It struck something in me. It was like, ask and ye shall receive, right? Dare to dream, Haley, and watch how we're gonna make this happen for you, right? And I'm just like, how is it that I was able to meet these women, be in this environment where I was like, no, I'm gonna commit, right? And then it was like the stars aligned for me, to have this kind of identity crisis as a life coach, right? With this guy. And then my coach offering this thing just kind of like right after that. And then a payment plan to make it absolutely doable. I was just floored. I was just floored at how everything aligned for me to come to this like further rooted, further grounded, and hooked into this dream, right? Like I am absolutely like my roots are deep and my actions are deep into this identity of I am a mother freaking life coach. Like I'm the shit. I'm going to make it happen for myself. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going. And then you guys, that song, that Unstoppable by Sia, that I was, that night and later that day, the next day after I had signed up for the program, I played that song nonstop. And I was just like on my way to the gym with my son and I was just crying and I was like, I'm unstoppable. And I was like pounding at my chest and like that warrior voice in me was just like, we're not stopping. Like we're going to attack with vigor and restlessness to do this, right? Oh man, I feel so good. I feel so laser focused. I'm so grateful for that experience I had with that guy. And if any of you guys are in, this is totally a side note, but if any of you guys are in that dating phase of your life, I want you to rid yourself from the belief system, I wasted my time, or I don't want to waste my time, or anything regarding wasting time in dating. I can tell you with certainty, every single connection, every single conversation has taught me something. Just because the outcome wasn't what I wanted doesn't mean I didn't gain insight, experiential wisdom from it, right? It's this exercise of, yes, this is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I want. And then you're gaining this information. And that's seriously for anything you want in your life, like your business, a dream partner, right? Like I am trying to make these connections and meet these people and see if it's going to work, right? Like I am so ready. I'm ready, but I'm not attached to the outcome. I'm willing to let things happen the way that they will. And I'm surrendering to outcome. I'm not attached to it because I'm in this state of like receiving / working really hard. And also, this is who I am. This is me rooted in purpose and vision and honesty and truth. And if that's not attractive to you, good, like go, please move on, right? And it's just cool, right? Like I'm the more I'm dating people and I'm establishing myself in that belief system, right? It's just like it's an exercise. They are opportunities and teachers for me to keep learning all the value systems that I'm preaching to my clients and to you all. It's amazing. I'm loving this dating journey and also cursing it at the same time, but but I allow both, right? I allow the good, And I'm learning from the uncomfortable. I'll say it that way. You guys, if you are feeling imposter syndrome, you're not alone. It is so common. I can't even tell you the amount of interviews I've listened to from my role models, the people I look up to. They said it never goes away, no matter what level of your business, of your career, of your relationships, that insecurity, that imposter syndrome never goes away. However, who is in the driver's seat is the most important question, right? It's not how do we eradicate imposter syndrome? It's how do I make it so that the person in the driver's seat or the voice or the belief systems that are driving my day-to-day is the real me, the me that's thriving, the me that wants to be a life coach, wants to have my dream partner, my dream life. I want her in the driver's seat as much as possible. And it's a dance. It's a dance, right? Fear, imposter syndrome, those all kind of fall in the same realm. It's a dance. And we just want to give equal airtime to the version of you that you're trying to become. Thank you guys for listening. My one request is that you share this podcast with your friends, your family, or anyone who, even on your social medias, share this podcast. It helps me grow and it helps me reach and touch the lives of others who might be experiencing imposter syndrome as well. Take care, my friends. Have an amazing day. All right, before you go, I need you to hear this. You don't need to keep white knuckling your way through life. You don't need to figure it out on your own. You deserve support. You deserve strategy. You deserve to feel like yourself again. And that's exactly why I'm offering you a complimentary free 30-minute coaching session. No strings, no pressure, just real conversation, real breakthroughs, and a real chance to feel lighter, clearer, and way more in control. If you've been listening and nodding your head thinking, oh, yes, that's me, then this is the moment to stop thinking and start doing. Click the link in the show notes and schedule your free session right now. Right now, not later, not when you have time, right this moment, because you're worth showing up for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram at healing_with_Haley. I am here for you, but don't overthink it. What you're going to do in this free session is we're going to unpack any negative belief systems, build momentum with clear strategies, leave you feeling lighter, calmer, more confident, more grounded. These are the emotions you're going to feel after a session with me. Don't overthink it. The life you want starts with one decision. This could be the one thing that changes everything for you this year. Let's do this. All right, before you go, I need you to hear this. You don't need to keep white knuckling your way through life. You don't need to figure it out on your own. You deserve support. You deserve strategy. You deserve to feel like yourself again. And that's exactly why I'm offering you a complimentary free 30-minute coaching session. No strings, no pressure, just real conversation, real breakthroughs, and a real chance to feel lighter, clearer, and way more in control. If you've been listening and nodding your head thinking, oh, yes, that's me, then this is the moment to stop thinking and start doing. Click the link in the show notes and schedule your free session right now. Right now, not later, not when you have time, right this moment, because you're worth showing up for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram at healing_with_Haley. I am here for you, but don't overthink it. What you're going to do in this free session is we're going to unpack any negative belief systems, build momentum with clear strategies, leave you feeling lighter, calmer, more confident, more grounded. These are the emotions you're going to feel after a session with me. Don't overthink it. The life you want starts with one decision. This could be the one thing that changes everything for you this year. Let's do this.